Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something that's been stirring in the pits, filling the lanes, and heating up conversations all across the drag racing world. The future of no prep racing. And I've got one big question for you. Is small tire racing the next big thing? Buckle up, because what's coming next might just change the face of no prep competition as we know it. Let me take you back a bit, because this shift didn't just come out of nowhere. If you followed the no prep scene over the years, especially with the Street Outlaws crew, you know just how dominant big tire cars have been. These monsters, custom-built, fine-tuned beasts, have ruled the blacktop for years. They've laid down low 3.70s and even dipped into numbers that would leave a lesser driver shaking in their fire suit. But lately, there's been a change in the air. At the first 3 Speed Promotions events this season, we saw something pretty surprising. Despite a massive $40,000 winner's purse, the car count hovered around just 18 to 19 entries per event. Now that's a serious red flag. We're talking about open format, no-holds-barred racing with no rules on paper. Yet the top guys just aren't showing up like they used to. And the reason is as clear as day. If your car doesn't run consistent low 3.70s or better, you're not even in the conversation. Let's be real here. That's a huge ask for even the most passionate racers. Running a big tire no prep car isn't just a hobby. It's a 6-figure commitment. Travel costs, repairs, testing, and upgrades eat up time and money like you wouldn't believe. That's why a lot of the OG Street Outlaws we all know and love, guys like Doc, Dominator, Bobby Ducote, they're not in the mix anymore. It's not because they don't want to race, it's because without a car that can keep up with the 3.70 crowd, they're walking into battle without a weapon. But here's where things get exciting. Enter the small tire revolution. Just recently, Speed Promotions hosted a $100,000 to win small tire race. And you know how many cars showed up? 63. That's over 3 times the car count compared to the big tire showdowns. And that's not even counting the guys who had to drop out due to car issues or last-minute prep failures. Imagine if everyone was ready. These events would easily break 75-plus entries. Now you might be thinking, well, of course they showed up. It was a 6-figure payout. Fair point. But let's flip the script. If Speed Promotions offered that same $40,000 payout we've seen at the big tire races for small tire no prep events, I guarantee you'd still get a packed 32-car field, maybe more. Why? Because you don't need a purpose-built pro-level car to be competitive. You don't need 4,500 horsepower and a 6-digit budget. What you do need is smarts, traction control if allowed, and the guts to hang it all out. Take John Doe, for example, the guy who took the win at that 6-figure event. That chassis was built in the early 90s. It's not state-of-the-art. It's not full carbon fiber. It's old school, but it's effective. And that Bumblebee Camaro that won the second chance bracket? It wasn't anywhere near full power when it laid down the winning pass. These cars are fast, but they're not built like today's big tire missiles. And that's what makes it so accessible and honestly, so much more fun to watch. Let's talk about competition. Big tire racing right now is kind of like Formula One. It's elite, expensive, and dominated by just a few names. But small tire no prep? It's anybody's game. A local racer who built his car in a 2-car garage has a shot at knocking off a name from TV. You've got real underdog stories happening in every lane, and fans love that kind of energy. It's gritty, it's unpredictable, and it brings back that raw, homegrown feel that made Street Outlaws such a hit to begin with. And here's where things get even better for the future. A lot of the OGs could easily transition to small tire competition. Guys like Doc, Bobby Ducote, Dominator, they've already got the equipment. They're already fan favorites. All it would take is swapping out the big tires for a set of smalls and reworking the suspension. They wouldn't have to run low 3.70s anymore, and they'd be back in the game, back on the road, and back in front of the fans that love watching them battle it out. So what's the bottom line? If Speed Promotions wants to keep filling the lanes, keep the fans engaged, and give everyone, from garage racers to TV legends, a fair shot, small tire no prep racing is the way forward. The turnout, the energy, the stories, it's all there. The cars may be a little slower, but the action? Way more intense. And honestly, I'd rather see a tight 4.40 battle between two hungry racers than watch another solo pass from a 3.70 car with no one left to race. One of the biggest arguments I hear against small tire no prep is that it's not as fast or not as extreme as big tire racing. But let's break that down for a second. Sure, the ETs might not hit 3.7 ES or better, but does that make the racing any less exciting? Absolutely not. In fact, small tire racing often delivers way more action. Why? Because the cars are on the edge every pass. They're skating, spinning, wheelie and fighting for every inch of grip. That makes for a better show, plain and simple. What a lot of people don't realize is that small tire racing doesn't just lower the entry barrier financially. It also opens the door to creativity. Without having to chase the absolute cutting edge of performance, racers can experiment more. You see more diversity in chassis setups, power adders, tuning philosophies. It's not just the same three combinations showing up every time. You'll have nitrous, turbo, blower, and even naturally aspirated cars mixing it up, and that keeps things unpredictable. Another thing that really excites me is the community aspect. When you go to a small tire no prep race, you feel like you're part of something. These aren't closed-door pit areas with big money sponsors fencing everyone out. You can walk up to a racer working under their hood, ask questions, and actually get a conversation. That's what keeps fans coming back, real connection with the racers. Big tire racing has started to feel a little corporate, a little distant. Small tire racing? It's still got that grassroots soul. And the data doesn't lie. Look at the numbers. A $100,000 big tire race brought in under 20 cars. A $100,000 small tire event brought in over 60, and that's with dropouts. Now imagine building a full season around that format. Multiple 32-car fields at every event. More matchups, more competition, more opportunity for new names to rise. You'd have a full-blown championship series that people could actually afford to chase, and that fans would be excited to follow. Think about the streaming side of this too. Small tire no prep is made for online viewership. The drama, the tire shake, the close calls, this stuff plays so well on camera. You don't need drones flying 200 miles per hour or ultra-slick ESPN coverage to make it compelling. One static camera, one good announcer, and a tight track can produce gold. It's racing in its rawest, most real form, and audiences are craving that now more than ever. And let's not forget about the second chance bracket. You don't see this as often in big tire events because the field is too small. But in small tire, that second bracket is loaded with killers who just had one bad pass. That means 2, sometimes even 3 full rounds of solid racing before you even get to the semis. The night stays alive longer, the fans stay engaged, and everyone gets more seat time. It's better for racers and spectators. Another important factor is safety. Small tire cars generally carry less speed, especially at the finish line, which means there's less risk of catastrophic damage in the event of a crash. That doesn't mean it's safe by default. Racing always carries risk, but it does allow tracks and organizers to worry less about 220+ mph missiles and more about running clean, tight, entertaining events. It also means insurance is cheaper and logistics are easier to manage. Let's be honest, drag racing as a sport needs to adapt to survive. We've seen it with radio racing, with street-style shootouts, with classes evolving. Big tire no prep has given us some iconic moments, but it's become too elite for most racers to keep up with. Small tire no prep is what's next. It has the numbers, the energy, the affordability, and the accessibility to bring the sport back to the people. It's not a step down, it's a step forward. So whether you're a racer looking for your shot, a fan who wants that raw, side-by-side action, or just someone who loves watching cars skate the edge of traction and physics, this is your time. Support the small tire events. Show up. Tune in. Tell your favorite promoters what you want to see. Because if Speed Promotions or anyone else is listening, and I believe they are, small tire is the foundation they can build the future of no prep on. This is more than just a trend. It's a shift. It's a movement. And if we embrace it, the next 5 years of no prep racing could be the wildest and most exciting era yet. Let's make it happen. Stay tuned, stay loud, and as always, keep it outlaw.